Phương Thảo would you like to extend a warm welcome to our viewers and listeners. Please join us in following the domestic and international news on 24 Hours channel. Right now, let's go through the main noteworthy contents that have been addressed in today's program.
Ladies and gentlemen, last night, Yunnan and Qinghai provinces in China experienced consecutive strong earthquakes. A 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck the Kulak Autonomous Region in Qinghai Province, causing 104 aftershocks and the collapse of two bridges on the highway. Meanwhile, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake in Dangdi County, Yunnan Province, resulted in 300 fatalities and 280 injuries. Additionally, earthquakes with a magnitude of 3.6 struck Thuangnam District and Thuanglak City in Thiemte Province, causing 103 deaths and 18 injuries. At 9:48 p.m. yesterday, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake with a focal depth of 8 kilometers occurred in Dangti County, part of the Dali Autonomous Region in Yunnan Province. Local authorities in Dali reported that this earthquake happened at night and was felt in all 12 districts and cities of the Autonomous Region, with Dangti County being the most severely affected. As of 6 a.m. today, preliminary statistics indicated 300 fatalities and 280 injuries. Reports stated that the earthquake severely damaged over 400 houses and 8 production facilities in Dangti County. Initial assessments showed that at least 292 houses collapsed and 13,090 houses suffered minor damages. Trong Quang, a resident of Dali for over 5 years, told mainland Chinese media, Dali ancient town is about 20 kilometers from the epicenter. The shaking was very strong, especially during the earthquake at 21:48, and the houses were shaking intensely. Currently, people in Dali ancient town are all running outside, and everyone wants to spend the night outdoors. I am also preparing to spend the night in my car. Mr. Lam, a resident of Dali, mentioned that after feeling a strong shaking last night, he and his family went to the Mingqiao Square, a 7-minute drive from Dali railway station, where it was already crowded. Mr. Lam said they planned to set up tents and temporarily rest at this square. Dangti County has experienced consecutive earthquakes for several days. According to local reports, from 6:49 p.m. 3 days ago to 12:08 p.m. the next day, near Hothuk Veen and Tulin villages in Thuong Sunte Township, Dangti County, 17 earthquakes occurred successively, causing many houses and residents to be affected. From 8:06 p.m. to 10:19 p.m. yesterday, Dangti County and Dali City experienced 12 earthquakes, with the highest magnitude recorded at 6.4 and the lowest at 2.8 on the Richter scale. Bao Kao, a longtime resident of Dali, shared, in recent days, earthquakes have been occurring continuously, almost every day around 8 p.m., and each time the duration is not short. The epicenter is several tens of kilometers away from us, in the back of Thuong Sun Mountain. Before the shaking starts, we can hear a loud sound, then the ground starts to tremble, and the windows begin to rattle. In the evening yesterday, after the first earthquake subsided for a while, the shaking resumed. The second earthquake was much stronger than the first. The doors and lights kept shaking, with intervals of shaking and stopping. It felt like 5.6 magnitude, and I was somewhat scared, said Bao Kao. In the neighborhood where Bao Kao lives, everyone rushed to the streets and gathered in open spaces, talking to each other. After more than 10 minutes of conversation, they felt that the situation was no longer severe, so everyone returned to their homes. As soon as I went upstairs, the whole house started shaking, which was extremely terrifying. The glass doors inside the house were rattling, and I was so scared that I almost cried. I quickly ran out of the house, and later I found out it was a 6.4 magnitude earthquake. Ms. Su, who came to Dali for work, shared with BIG News that she was in a hotel in Dali for the past 2 days when the earthquake occurred. She was walking along the corridor heading back to her room. Suddenly, she felt unsteady on her feet, and her legs could not stand firm anymore. At that moment, I thought that if I were to run from the 19th floor down, I would definitely not make it. So I hugged my head and crouched in a corner against the wall. According to Ms. Su's account, the intense shaking lasted for over 10 minutes. After the shaking subsided, many guests ran out of their rooms, one after another, rushing downstairs. Some people took the elevator to go downstairs. Outside the hotel, The local residents and guests quickly filled up the area, and some people didn't have time to change their clothes. Chinese state media reported that during the earthquake, a truck was hit by a falling rock on the Long Cottongan section of the Moning route in Thuan Tai Town, Dangti County. 4 people in the truck died on the spot, and 3 others were trapped. Among the occupants were 2 elderly individuals, a married couple, and 3 children. One of the elderly individuals, the husband, and a child were killed by the falling rock, while the wife and 2 children were trapped in the truck. This earthquake occurred in the northwest region of Yan'an, with the closest fracture line being the Dui Taekyu Hawaixikiahu Fault. By 11:35 p.m. yesterday, a total of 20 earthquakes with magnitudes of 3 Richter or above had occurred in the series of earthquakes in Dangti County, including 8 earthquakes with magnitudes ranging from 3.0 to 3.9, 8 earthquakes from 4.0 to 4.9, 3 earthquakes from 5.0 to 5.9, and 1 earthquake from 6.0 to 6.9. According to experts' analysis, particular attention should be given to the 5 Richter earthquake in the Dangti seismic zone. Dangti County, where the earthquake occurred, is an autonomous county of the Dai ethnic minority. It is the closest satellite town to the capital of the Dali Autonomous Region, Bakailai, and serves as a key transportation hub connecting Yan'an with Southeast Asia and South Asia. In addition, on the same day, a 7.4 magnitude earthquake, with over 100 aftershocks, struck Danhai province, causing 2 bridges on the highway to collapse. Following a series of consecutive earthquakes in Dali, Yan'an province, on the early morning of May 2022, an earthquake with a magnitude of 7.4 Richter occurred in the Kulak Autonomous Region of Danhai province, with a focal depth of 17 kilometers. Chinese mainland media reported that Mr. Liu, a resident of Tainan City in Danhai province, described the feeling of the shaking while lying in bed, with the water in the fish tank swaying. The report stated that Bridge No. 2 at Madan in Mada County collapsed, and the driver was trapped on the bridge and unable to move. According to the newspaper, the shaking was felt throughout Danhai province, with Mada County, Ho Thatch Heap Town, and Hong Ha village experiencing strong shaking, and some walls collapsing. As of 10 am today, Mada County and Madam County in the Kulak Autonomous Region of Danhai province had a total of 43 deaths and 108 injuries, with residential houses, livestock farms, roads, and bridges suffering varying degrees of damage. By 10:50 am, a total of 453 aftershocks were recorded, including 45 aftershocks above 3 Richter, 8 aftershocks above 4 Richter, and 1 aftershock at 5.1 Richter. Additionally, Madam County in the Kulak Autonomous Region, adjacent to Mada County, experienced earthquakes of 3.0 Richter and above, with a 4.5 Richter earthquake occurring at 3:03 am today. Due to the impact of the earthquake, several bridges in Danhai province collapsed, including Bridge No. 2 at Damadan on the Ngakong Highway and Shuangma Bridge on the Hoku Highway. Additionally, at 4:05 am today, an earthquake with a magnitude of 3.1 Richter occurred in Hanam County, part of the Hongnam Autonomous Region in Danhai province, with a focal depth of 19 kilometers. Ladies and gentlemen, last week off the coast of Fujian province, China, a strong earthquake measuring 6.4 Richter occurred. For many Chinese people, this earthquake brought back painful memories of the catastrophic earthquakes in 1976, which were accompanied by tsunamis. On the night of last Friday, a powerful earthquake measuring 7.4 Richter struck off the coast of Fujian province, injuring over 100 people. After the devastating earthquake, it seems that the painful memories of that day have come alive again for mainland Chinese people, as a catastrophic earthquake and tsunami disaster can still be vividly felt to this day. Although the earthquake on Friday night occurred in a similar region to the 1976 disaster, this time the shaking did not lead to a national emergency for several reasons. What happened? The earthquake occurred around 12:30 am local time off the coast of Puxian City, Fujian province, China. Initially, the tremors were designated as a strong 7.3 Richter earthquake but were upgraded to 7.4 Richter the next day. Since then, all tsunami warnings issued after the earthquake have been lifted. The epicenter of the earthquake on Friday was approximately 89 kilometers from the epicenter of the devastating 1976 earthquake. Robert Geller, a seismologist and honorary professor at the University of Tokyo, believes that this earthquake may be an aftershock from a 1976 event. The professor explained that geologically, aftershocks can persist for 50 to 100 years, but over time, their frequency and intensity will gradually decrease. 4 individuals, including a 60-year-old man, have been confirmed dead, and at least 160 others have been injured, according to authorities in China. Footage captured from the capital city of Beijing during the earthquake showed streetlights and apartment buildings continuously shaking. Tens of thousands of households experienced power outages throughout the city, but the electricity system was restored within a few hours. Prime Minister Li Keqiang emphasized that no abnormalities were found in the country's power plants. According to public broadcaster NHK, a high-speed train passing through Shanghai province derailed during the earthquake, with 78 people trapped on the train for 4 hours. Fortunately, everyone managed to escape through emergency exits without any injuries. Photos taken from Fujian and Shanghai provinces showed severely damaged buildings, with shattered windows, collapsed roofs, and cracked floors. Merchandise and debris scattered across the floors of shops and supermarkets. This earthquake occurred off the coast of Fujian at a depth of 60 kilometers, which may have limited the extent of the damage. Professor Geller explained that earthquakes occurring closer to the Earth's surface tend to cause more severe damage than those from deeper within the crust.
Thank you all for your attention and viewership. Please leave your feedback in the comment section of this video so that we can timely respond and address any question you may have, assisting you. If you find it interesting, please like and click the bell icon below to not miss the latest video from our editorial team. Goodbye and see you again in the next new update from 24 Hours channel.